Okay, now you might already have seen my friend Babatunde's video about Nigerian bean cake, or Akara. I'm going to have a go at making that today. So this is going to be my breakfast. I'm going to try to make Nigerian bean cake. So we had a bit of a false start on this project yesterday. I tried to use these beans, which are crab eye beans, and soaking didn't seem to remove the skins. So I went and got myself some black eye beans, which is the only authentic beans I could find. I couldn't actually find the red or brown beans in the shops at the moment. So anyway, I've got some of these black eye beans which have been soaking. I did a bit of an experiment and they've been soaking for a couple of hours. If I soak them for less time than that, I couldn't get the skins to come off. So I don't know if there's something different about the beans in this country. Maybe they're drier. But anyway, so I just need to massage these beans now a little bit by hand, which is a bit of a messy job, and rub them between my hands to get the skins to loosen off. And that is actually working. We've got skins separating from the beans. This is a bit of a laborious job, and some people say this is not even necessary. Some people just make it with the beans with the skins on. I've seen recipes that do that, but I'm going to try to get the skins off. Spreading beans all over the place. So while I'm doing this, let's just talk about other ingredients. There are really only a couple of other ingredients in this recipe, which is Scotch bonnet peppers, which I've got here, and onions, and a little bit of salt. Some people apparently use a stock cube to season it, but I'm just going to use salt today. Right, well, I'm going to cut here, and we'll come back when I've got some sort of separation between beans and skins. Okay, after some brief experimentation, I'm going to say that putting these in the food processor and pulsing them is probably the way to go if you have this option available to you. So just... And whilst that has broken some of them up, it's also separated them a lot. What's interesting here is that the skins aren't floating up, so I've got some sorting to do. So this is just not working out exactly as people say it should. Maybe I soaked my beans for too long and the density of the skins and beans is not sufficiently different. Okay, now that's probably about as close as we're going to get. I can continue picking out little pieces of skin here if I want to, but I think we're at the point now where I cut my losses. Otherwise this is not going to be breakfast. But we've got mostly the inside part of the beans separated now. So I'm just going to drain those completely, and then those go into the food processor with the other ingredients. Completely eyeballing the ingredients here, I've got, well, one big Scotch bonnet pepper, one small one. I think that's probably enough. The onions are quite big, so I'm just going to use one, and I'm going to reserve back 1/4 of it to put in as slices to give texture. The rest of it goes in whole. In pieces. So now we just need to process that until it's a fine paste. I think we might just need a little bit of water in here to just stop this spreading up the sides and sticking there. But obviously we're deep frying this, so I don't want to add too much water, or else that will just be a problem. I think we're probably there. The texture is a bit like hummus. It's kind of creamy. It's not completely smooth, but you can see it's got a really battery sort of creamy texture to it. And we're just going to put those pieces of onion in there that we reserved. Okay, right, let's get our oil heated up and see where we can go from here. I felt like maybe that didn't have enough chopped onion in it, so I've just put some more in there. And the way we're going to gauge whether the oil is up to temperature is just drop in a couple of slices of onion, and once those start to fry, we'll know that we're at cooking temperature. Getting close to temperature now because that onion's starting to fry. Just going to turn the heat down, but we need to keep on heating because that's not quite hot enough yet. Okay, let's get that onion out of there so it doesn't burn. Okay, and here we go. So I'm just going to give that a little whisk. Apparently you've got to try and whisk air into this stuff. And then we're going to drop in spoonfuls of it. I reckon we're probably a little bit under on the temperature. So I'm going to keep that coming up. It's important not to do too many of these at a time, or else they could end up sticking together, or actually they could just reduce the temperature of the oil. Now I can see them starting to brown on the underside now, so I'm going to carefully flip them over. They have stuck to the bottom of the pan. Because I haven't got a proper deep fryer here, I am kind of compromising a little bit with a pan. And that's going to cause me some problems, I think. Let's get a fish slice in there, just to separate that from the pan. That's it. And then they're floating. Okay, so I'm just going to flip those over. They're looking good. And they smell fantastic. So while those are finishing off, we've got a bit of space over this side of the pan, so let's just drop in the next batch. The oil might be a little on the hot side right now. Okay, and how are we doing? Not quite. First batch is ready to come out now, so. What's surprising me here is how light they feel. I suppose the hot oil has cooked a lot of the moisture out of them. So, onto some kitchen paper towel, just to drain off the excess oil. And then we'll just carry on and repeat until we've got them all cooked. So while that next batch is cooking, I can't resist the urge to crack one of these open and give it a taste. This might be misadventurous because I expect they're going to be steaming hot inside. But there we go. So some of the crispiness has actually gone right inside of them. I don't know if that's intentional. It might be that I made them a bit too porous. Well, they smell like very good fried food. Let's have a taste. Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah. Right, well, I'll get to the table and we'll describe that in a bit more detail. Okay, so there they are, and I'm actually pretty proud of that effort. I think I did okay there. So let's dig in and see what they're like. Now the ones on the top are going to be the hottest, but they're also the most crisp. So maybe I'll just take a chance. So inside, they're kind of almost light and baked like a donut. The texture is somewhere between a bean paste and a kind of baked donut. Really intriguing, but yeah. And I think 2 peppers for this batch was about the right level of heat for me. That's good. Really, really pleased with those. And they are delicious. There is something to be said about the flavour and texture combination of onions, beans, peppers, a little bit of seasoning and a little bit of oil. Obviously this is not a diet food, but I'm not going to eat a whole plate of these in one sitting. By way of explanation, if you can hear a sort of tapping or white noise in the background, it's because it's raining really heavily outside and has been for several days now. Anyway, I haven't got Akamu to serve this with because baby steps, one thing at a time. That's another project that I will tackle at some point in the future. But right now, we're trying Akara, and yeah, I really like it. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit, although I believe people do eat them this way. I'm just going to put a couple of them. Well, I reckon like 3. in a bun and have it as a sandwich filling. Let's see what that's like. Yeah, that works for me. Now, cool thing about these, they are delicious, substantial and hearty, accidentally vegan, and yeah, okay, the fat content's a bit high, but the rest of the ingredients are actually really, really healthy. So, you know, you need a bit of fat in your diet. So, whilst I wouldn't eat these every day, I'm definitely making these again. So, that was my attempt at making Akara. I hope that was satisfactory. If you're from Nigeria or one of the other countries where they make these, let me know what you think of these in the comments. I'm interested to hear your feedback. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.